You know, sometimes you hear these nicknames for animals and they're just perfect, like the cute pancake or the dumpling squid.
Yeah, they are quite evocative, aren't they? Tells you something right away.
Exactly. And today we're diving into the science behind these, well, surprisingly named creatures. The flapjack octopus and the stubby squid, both from the deep sea.
Ah, yes, the deep sea. A realm where the usual rules often don't apply. Evolution gets really creative down there.
It really does. And these two are great examples of that creativity, those unique adaptations.
Definitely. We'll be looking at their biology, how they're built, how they behave, what makes them suited for that extreme environment.
Right. We've got some fascinating details, some recent findings too. So our mission really is to unpack the biology, what makes them tick, and how do they survive where they do. Let's start with the flapjack octopus, that name alone.
Opisthoteuthis, that's the genus. And yes, flapjack, or sometimes umbrella octopus, it fits. They are remarkably flat.
Why so flat though? Is it just how they look?
Well, biologically, a key thing is they lack a really strong muscular mantle, which is, the main body part in most octopuses. That contributes to this, well, almost gelatinous or sloppy look.
Ah, okay. So not your typical muscular octopus body.
Not at all. It's a direct result of their environment, really. Different pressures, different body plans.
And they're quite small too, right? Like under a foot usually.
Typically, yes. Around 8 to 12 inches is common. And they have these big, sort of widely spaced eyes.
And those little fins on top, I saw pictures.
Ah, yes, the fins. Crucial. They might look small, but those are their main engines, so to speak.
Really?
Yeah.
Not jet propulsion like other octopuses.
Nope. They use those fins in this gentle, undulating way. It's called medusoid swimming, kind of like a jellyfish pulsing. Very energy efficient.
Medusoid swimming. Okay. Efficient makes sense for the deep sea.
Absolutely. And they have fine control, moving them together or independently for steering and stability. It's quite elegant, actually.
And what about this thing where they can inflate or deflate, like a water balloon?
Huh, sort of. It's for buoyancy control. By managing the fluid inside them, they can go up or down in the water column without, expending a ton of energy.
Yeah.
Like a built-in flotation device.
Clever. And they can also flatten right out. Flat spreading.
Yes, that's another fascinating behavior. They can become incredibly thin. The thinking is possibly camouflage against the seabed.
Camouflage makes sense. Or maybe startling something.
Could be. Or maybe just blending in perfectly.
Yeah.
The exact whys is still debated, but it's a distinct ability.
And where do we typically find them? You said deep sea, but where specifically?
Primarily the Pacific. Off California, Oregon, Japan, those sorts of areas. Usually quite deep.
How deep are we talking?
Typically between, say, 200 and 1,500 meters. That's the twilight zone mostly.
Where just a little light filters down.
Exactly. But they've been spotted even deeper, down to 4,000 meters. Real abyss territory.
Wow. That deep. No wonder we don't see them often. Must be hard to study their biology down there.
Incredibly challenging, yes. Remotely operated vehicles, submersibles, it's not easy. So our understanding is always growing, bit by bit.
So given that depth and darkness, what do they actually eat? What fuels these little flapjacks?
Good question. The research suggests mainly small crustaceans, think tiny shrimp, krill, maybe some worms, or other small bottom-dwelling organisms.
And how do they catch them? Just grab them?
Sometimes, yeah, extending their arms, maybe enveloping the prey. But they also have these interesting little hair-like things along their suckers called cirri.
Cirri. What do those do?
Well, one idea is they use them to create tiny water currents, sort of wafting food particles towards their mouth.
Yeah.
Subtle, but effective for tiny prey.
Cirri-generated currents. That's neat. A very specialized way to feed.
It is. And speaking of differences, unlike most octopuses you might think of, they don't have ink sacs.
No ink. So how do they defend themselves if something bigger comes along?
Right. No ink escape. They rely on other things. Hiding is one, squeezing into tight spots on the seafloor.
Makes sense. What else?
There's something called web inversion. They basically flip their arms and webbing upwards, making this larger, perhaps confusing shape. And maybe that ballooning thing we mentioned, puffing up suddenly.
So startling or confusing predators instead of blinding them with ink.
Pretty much. Different environment, different toolkit.
And reproduction, is that also a bit of a mystery down there?
A lot of it is, yes. It's hard to observe. But we have seen females of some related species brooding eggs attached right to their arms.
Holding onto them. So some parental care, maybe?
It suggests a level of investment, certainly. How they mate, how the young develop. It's Still big questions for biologists.
Fascinating. It's amazing how life adapts. You mentioned the flat spreading again. Is that purely camouflage, biologically speaking?
That's the leading biological hypothesis, yes.
Right.
By maximizing that surface area against the bottom, they become much harder to spot. It's a morphological camouflage using their body shape.
Right, not color changing like shallow water octopuses. Which brings up their senses. If it's dark, how good is their eyesight?
Generally, deep sea creatures have visual systems adapted for low light detecting bioluminescence, maybe silhouettes, rather than sharp color images.
So vision isn't their main sense.
Likely not primary for hunting, no. They probably rely much more on chemoreception sensing chemicals in the water and mechanoreception.
Feeling things.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Using those suckers in the cirri to feel vibrations, textures, get a sense of their immediate surroundings. Touch and taste become super important down there.
Makes total sense. So let's place them biologically. Family Opisthoteuthis, and they're called cirrate octopuses. What does cirrate mean biologically?
Biologically, cirrate defines a group. Key features are those cirri we talked about, the little filaments along the suckers. They also have those fins on the mantle.
The ones they swim with.
Right. And internally, they have a cartilaginous shell, often U-shaped or V-shaped. It gives some support to their soft bodies.
Okay. And insect octopuses don't have those things.
Correct. Inserate octopuses, the more familiar kind, lack fins, lack cirri, and typically have 2 rows of suckers, not 1. Different evolutionary branch.
Got it. And I saw a new species was found recently, Opisthoteuthis carnivoransis.
Yes, off Western Australia, found in 2022. Biologically, it's significant because, well, first, it's another piece in the biodiversity puzzle of the deep sea.
It was tiny. Right.
Very small, only about 4 centimeters, bright red tentacles, big eyes. Finding species like this helps us understand the diversity within the genus and, how these animals have radiated into different forms.
4 centimeters. Amazing. It just shows how much is still out there.
Oh, absolutely. That expedition found 10 new species in total in the Carnarvon Marine Park area.
Right.
The deep sea is still very much a frontier.
Before we move to the stubby squid, are there other deep sea animals with similar kinds of adaptations? Gelatinous bodies, weird ways of moving?
Yeah, you see examples of convergent evolution, unrelated animals solving similar problems in similar ways. Some deep-sea jellyfish, certain squid, even things like blanket octopuses show similar traits like gelatinous bodies or unique sensory adaptations for the dark.
Convergent evolution, right.
Yeah.
Similar solutions popping up independently. Okay, let's switch gears to the other star. The googly-eyed stubby squid, Rossia pacifica.
Yes, Rossia pacifica, also called the dumpling squid or bobtail squid. And yes, those eyes are quite prominent. Biologists got pretty excited seeing that bright magenta one. They're not sighted super often in the wild.
And biologically, you mentioned it's called a squid, but it's actually closer to cuttlefish. How does that work?
That's a key biological distinction, yeah. It has 8 arms and 2 longer tentacles, like a squid. But evolutionarily, it belongs to the bobtail squid order, Sepiolida, which branches off closer to cuttlefish.
Okay, so related but distinct. What's the main difference from cuttlefish then?
Biologically, a big one is the lack of a tuttle bone. Cuttlefish have that internal porous shell for buoyancy. Bobtail squid, like Rossia pacifica, don't. They also tend to have a rounder mantle shape.
No cuttlebone. Interesting. And I read something about bioluminescence linked to bacteria.
Yes, potentially.
Yeah.
Many bobtail squid have this amazing symbiotic relationship. They house bioluminescent bacteria, often in a special light organ.
A built-in nightlight.
Sort of. The squid gives the bacteria a safe place to live, and the bacteria produce light. The squid can then use this light, maybe for camouflage counterillumination, matching the faint light from above, or perhaps communication. It's a fantastic biological partnership.
Oh, wow. That's incredible cooperation. Now, habitat-wise, these guys are different from the flapjack octopus, right? More bottom-focused.
Definitely. They live a benthic lifestyle. Tied to the seafloor, you find them in the northern Pacific, Japan across to Southern California, usually between 300 and 1,300 meters deep.
Still deep, but on the bottom. And they bury themselves.
They do. That's a key part of their biology and behavior. They can produce this sticky mucus coat.
A mucus jacket.
Yeah, you could call it that. It helps sand and sediment stick to them. Then they burrow down, leaving just their eyes poking out.
Why do that? Just hiding.
Primarily, yes. It's excellent camouflage. They can ambush prey that swims or crawls by. And, of course, it hides them from predators looking down. It's a very effective biological strategy for survival on the seafloor.
Ambush predator style. It's just amazing how different these two are, the flapjack and the stubby squid, despite both being deep-sea cephalopods.
It really highlights the diversity of solutions, doesn't it? The flapjack managing buoyancy in the water column, the stubby squid mastering camouflage on the seabed. Different niches, different biological adaptations.
So I guess the takeaway, the aha moment for anyone listening is just the sheer variety of life down there and how incredibly specialized these animals have become to handle those extreme conditions.
Precisely. They might seem strange or, cute even, but biologically, they're these finely tuned organisms showcasing fundamental principles of evolution and adaptation. They tell us so much about how life works.
It really makes you wonder, biologically speaking, what else is down there? What other incredible adaptations are waiting in the parts of the ocean we haven't even seen yet?
That's the exciting part, isn't it? The deep sea is vast, largely unexplored. Each discovery potentially reveals new biological strategies, new insights into life's possibilities in extreme environments. There's still so much to learn.